I'm under the impression that 1 millisecond is technically the standard right now for gaming screens, and this is obviously not a gaming screen. I'm pretty confident in that. And I'm sure that I actually do believe that there are some that are even less than 1 millisecond, but I don't know if those are consumer standard yet. But yeah, not too hot, not great, not fantastic. So this is definitely the #1 part I'm gonna have to upgrade. Not many other interesting stats here other than, I guess, 7.7 pounds, which seems pretty average. But excuse me. Had some Brussels sprouts earlier, that might be, and some mushrooms. Yeah, so this is pretty sad. If you're interested in buying this from me, just talk to me about it, I guess. It's only I think it goes for about like probably $100 new, so we could probably work something out. I mean, I don't even know if it's still sold anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if this was just as out of stock as the other ones are. And now moving on here, obviously I have an SSD solid state drive, a hard drive, although I actually can't even guarantee that this is the exact one that I have, but I have a sticker on my computer that has this company's name on it, and and this is pretty generally what it looks like. I haven't looked inside of this for a while. It might look a little bit different, but it's definitely 120 gigabytes, and it's definitely 2.5 inches and by OCZ. So those stats led me to those hard facts led me to believe that this will be a good enough picture for me to show. And obviously this is only a boot drive. It's 120 gigabytes. As somebody who both records videos and plays video games, 120 gigabytes just doesn't cut it for everything. So I have a probably Western Digital, I'd assume. I'm not gonna open it up and look, I'm sorry, but more out of fear than shock, than out of like shocking some of my parts while it's running, than out of laziness, I'll be honest. But yeah, this is a pretty nice boot drive. I don't have insane boot times, but it lets me, it definitely uses the programs fast. And you'll notice I haven't talked about motherboard or RAM yet, and that's mainly because that doesn't, I'll actually, the motherboard, nobody's really interested in hearing about that. I mean, like, I have a little thing here that tells me what my power supply is. Nobody's interested in hearing about that. It's this other stuff that's interesting and that can maybe foster some discussion and potentially get somebody to say, hey, this is the thing, that you could upgrade this, or hey, there's a that you don't have like the blah blah blah, whatever. Obviously that's not a fantastically informing conversation, but I'm just trying to generalize here. But if you're interested in knowing what motherboard I have, it's the GA77X UD3H by Gigabyte, and honestly that's just some random thing that we bought because it goes along with, not random of course, but it's just one of the ones that goes along with the CPU I have. Nothing insanely, no insane amount of thought I don't think went into picking that. I'm looking for the little thing about my RAM, but I can't say I've found it yet. I'm sort of just talking on end here. I gotta really get back to focusing on my video. Sorry about that, anybody who's really interested in knowing what RAM I had, but I'm sure you'll find another way to entertain yourself, like watching this video and learning about the stuff that I do know that I have. And finally, the most important part of the computer, I'm just kidding, but honestly, one of my favorite parts about my computer, this case, the Corsair Obsidian 650D, and this is honestly a fantastic case, and I don't think it cost this much when I got it. For all I know, it may have, but like, really, you might say that that's a bit extreme, you know. I think it was actually really $200 when I bought it. I don't know why it would have been $20 less that many years ago, but that's the impression that I had when I got it. But you could say 200, let's say 200, but $200 on a case, that's insane. You could buy a case for $50 and spend an extra $150 like buying a better GPU, and like, I mean, maybe, but when you think about it, this is such a long-term investment. I mean, maybe you're one of those people who thinks that sexy cases are cool, but I mean, this is a professional, casual case. You know, it doesn't have any fancy LEDs on it. It's just all black. It's like sort of like a monolith. You know, it's giant. It's got its very rather sharp edges. I think it looks fantastic, and it's big. It could fit pretty much. It could probably fit some really huge graphics cards in here, and I'm under the impression that size is what matters when it comes to cases, and because think about it. I mean, I understand that there's some standards, like I think it's called ITX or ATX or something like that, where people go for having a small case size, small everything, but that's not the standard, and I don't think that this standard's gonna change anytime soon. This is a real long-term investment, because look, I can pull down these things at any time and go in and access the parts. You know, obviously I'm not doing that a ton, hence what I said earlier about not wanting to shock anything while it's running. But the accessibility of this size, where like I for the most part, I think most people will agree, unless you're really running low on space, having a big PC, having a big case is ideal. And if you can see here, I'll zoom in a bit. This is one that's absolutely for building PCs. If you didn't notice yet, I built my own PC from, or at least that you must have known that it was custom built. But yes, I built my own PC. Obviously that's not a big deal, but look, I could fit, if I wanted to, I could fit what, 10 hard drives in here. Like, oh, sorry, I just realized those are actually the optical drive slots, but it doesn't matter. I could fit 6 hard drives in here. That's absolutely insane. I wouldn't need to do that, but the option's there. You know, heck, I could. There's a little slot on the top. Oh my, I'm sorry. A little slot on the top. I could put a hard drive in there. I could put 7 hard drives in this thing at a time. Not that I ever use this. I don't even have this thing hooked up. But look, there's a ton of room for the air to circulate in here. There's a giant fan on top, fan on the front, fan, probably another fan somewhere. Yeah, fan right there. It's crazy. It's great. This is the only part. I mean, this is the only part of my computer that's really going to be a lifetime investment, if you know what I mean. Like, this is I love it. It really is nice. It looks fine. It looks pretty good. And like, unless some sort of format or standard changes for the sizes, I understand that there definitely is a push to being smaller, and there's probably quite a few people out there who are into sexy looking computers, you know, like only buying Macs and stuff like that. And honestly, if you're made out of money, sorry, that sounds a bit hostile, I'm sorry, but if you have the money to spend on like upgrading a Mac into a gaming PC, go for it. I mean, that would look fantastic if that's what you care about. But I mean, that obviously I'm willing to spend $200 on a case, but that seems a bit extreme personally for me. Obviously I'd do it if I could, but yeah, this is really. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully, I plan on upgrading. Hopefully, I mean potentially my mic, but definitely monitor first, then GPU, and let's see some discussion in the comments here if possible. Maybe you could give me some suggestions as to what GPU I should buy, what sort of monitor I should look into. So let's just give me your opinion. No links, please, but like, yeah, let's see it happen.